Expiration is over, and we did see a little bit of volatility, and it looks like they were pretty successful in maybe repricing some of those options for expiration. But the SPY was able to close back above its 9 and sitting pretty much right on the 5. So today we got to get into some technical analysis, get you guys some daily expected moves, and go through some stocks over here like the SPY, the Qs. Maybe we'll go into something like Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, AMD, Meta, Microsoft, and Google. Maybe take a peek over at AMC and GME, and then take a little look at volatility, as we have been discussing it thoroughly all week, how we need to watch out for crazy things during expiration. So let's get into it. Now, we did see a good confirmation on the daily scale, and this is why I was mainly talking to Patreon members saying, watch for if we do something a little bit crazy this week, because moments of expiration do have those moments of volatility as they are repricing those VIX options. So now we're looking for, do we see a 30-minute divergence down by the 20, which is down by your weekly expected move, or even in the near price action as we move sideways? Or are we going to do something different over the next few trading sessions to actually set up something that would be different than the past few expirations and the post-expiration days? So let's get into these, because this is very, very important. And let's just go into the 2-hour chart, because the 2-hour chart will allow us to look at this very, very simply. And let's give you guys those daily expected moves for the SPY. 627.68 to the upside for tomorrow, and you have 620.70 to the downside. You will see that your 2-hour MACD is still close by the center line, even though you have confirmed divergence. You even rejected one more time. You still have to be aware that this is very positive. During the past, whenever we have seen this get by the center line, and it looks like we have potential divergences, it just curls up. So if this curls up, it is very likely that we might extend the move or set some kind of trap at the end of the week. So we will be watching for both of those. So for now, if the 2 hour is able to curl up into positive territory, it is very likely to test this high and go make a new one. And now you have an upward daily expected move to pay attention to. How would we see if the 2 hour is going to turn up and maybe things could actually roll down and things could get ugly, right? Let's pay attention to the other side, the bearish scenario here with your lower expected moves. Well, I want you to look where that 30-minute is. It's right by the center line. So something you can look out for tomorrow that would be very interesting is if we actually end up to the downside, you come into that daily expected move and then you curl up to see some kind of squeeze going into Friday and next week. Now, we do have some things going on next week, and that would be, as of next week, you have, what's his name? Good old Jerome Powell, don't you? You have Fed Jerome Powell at 7:30 a.m. on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you do have existing home sales. And I think early on in the week, we actually get some data as well. The consumer sentiment is on Friday. So a little bit of data, but Jerome Powell's actually talking on the 22nd. I wonder if anyone will ask him a question like, hey, are you getting fired? Well, let's get back to the charts just for a moment here and just say, hey, if we curl down to this daily expected move and we're able to curl up, wouldn't we see some kind of divergence here on the MACD and possibly even on the RSI at the same time, even though they're not necessarily oversold readings? But in this scenario, if that does not create a divergence and you keep heading to the downside and wipe out those divergences, you can then use it as resistance to head lower. And that is most likely how we end up down at the weekly expected move. Like we were suggesting over on Patreon, if you see a 30-minute divergence before Monday, right? On Friday, it starts to form and everyone starts to call out Black Monday. Watch out, because they're probably wrong. This is where I made the Black Friday, making fun of the Black Friday thing over the weekend video. And this is another situation over here where we called that because you had 30-minute divergence here, you had 30-minute divergence here. Everyone called Black Monday, everyone ignored the signals, and a lot of people were wrong. So what we're suggesting to pay attention to for the SPY is not if you make a divergence down here, we need to watch for if that is able to curl up and raise this floor once again. But if we do something different and we set up sell signals towards these type of levels and it is different than it was the past 2 months, I would be watching out and I will notify you on this channel. If you would like to join Patreon, the link is down in the description. I would love to have you over there. We are discussing expiration a lot. Something we were discussing over there was the 30-minute for the Qs. We were overall suggesting everyone getting very, very bearish with this previous day closing right in here. And I just said, you're not even through the bulk of the stuff you have to take out. And you could do that going into tomorrow, right? If you see something crazy, some kind of crazy data, and you end up seeing a second standard deviation move, this can break to the downside. But if you just dink off of that daily expected move and head up, well, this is most likely going to raise that floor at least for a little bit of time. Now, we will watch out for some kind of, triple divergence is here for the Qs, but these things are very good at leaking it out till Friday so that it can give you something bad over the weekend or maybe going into next Tuesday before Jerome Powell talks. But how we would treat this as of right now is if the 2 hour crosses up, it does have a chance to test this high and go make a new one. If it is able to blow up and raise that floor, we might continue into the end or into, say, July 25th. But for now, we're just really watching, hey, does the 2 hour confirm up into positive territory? Watching out for divergence up there. If it's going to raise the floor, we need to squeeze once again. Pretty crazy. Oh, and real quick, I forgot to give you guys the daily expected moves. Let me read them off for you. 561.24 for the Qs to the upside for tomorrow. 553.46 to the downside for tomorrow. Now, let's pop over into Apple. Let's get into some of these individual stocks. If you notice here, Apple actually really doing well at just consolidating, starting to do what? Starting to get tight. And if that is able to curl up here, it is very likely that we can raise that floor. And maybe I would be looking at my weekly expected move if I was over on Patreon. Very, very nice. I'm paying attention to this one very, very closely. But Apple for the 2 hour, I would closely be watching if that is able to curl up into positive territory and start to make a new high above 213.50. We'll be watching out for traps and we'll try to make you aware of that. If you go into the 30-minute chart, it is curled down. So one of the early signals of that being able to go up would be, hey, the 30-minute has to curl up into positive territory. Right now, it is turned down. It is below most of your little moving averages in here, so you could see some downside, but as it is consolidating, we will have to see which confirmation you get for Apple. As far as Tesla goes, it looks like it might want to reach down and make a 2 hour higher low, and I think that is very interesting. All we see here from the 30-minute chart is the divergence on the MACD, is the divergence on the RSI. Has this confirmed yet? No, it has not. So the 30-minute will need to cross down here to give you that confirmation. And then you'll want to utilize your management for the trade, which is taught to you in the course. Now, the 2 hour can turn down here. Is this at risk of some kind of massive drop at this point? Well, it's Tesla. It's kind of a beast of its own, but truly, as the MACD is pretty good here, it's not that risky of a spot. You can see bad things from here, but I think it is very likely that Tesla is going to see something that almost looks ugly, and then it's just able to curl back up into positive territory. But we will monitor this one closely. All we know is there's a 30-minute divergence right there for Tesla that has not confirmed yet. Let's go into the daily chart because that has confirmed to the upside. So if you get a 2 hour pullback, as long as the daily is not reversing back down, that should be a good thing. And it looks like Tesla maybe even wants to curl up and break to the upside. So we will monitor this one closely. Amazon able to give you a daily confirmation of divergence here. So Amazon is kind of in a world of its own, and Amazon is saying we are about to tumble. That's what your signals are overall suggesting for Amazon. This is a very, very big deal as it stands. And it's a confirmation. So what do you do after you get a confirmation? Well, I like to take my trades on the confirmation, and then I like to have my plan already mapped out for if it goes wrong. As you can see on the 2 hour chart, you did have a hint for Amazon able to confirm divergence at these highs. Solid, solid, solid confirmation, and we're starting to continue that move. This needs to continue further. You would like to see a break of something like 219 so that it can come up and make that right shoulder, left head and right shoulder, and we might be tumbling going into next week for Amazon. So this is a critical one right now. And how this trade overall goes wrong is if the 2 hour can curl up into positive territory while it is still there, then that would be the trade overall going wrong. If we look at the 30-minute chart, you can see that that is pretty deep at this point. So even if you curl up on the 30-minute, it's going to need to squeeze to go higher. You are at risk of just even going deeper at this point. So we will be watching that. If the 30-minute curls up, you can see a solid move, but the 2 hour has to curl up to tell you, hey, we can actually go test this high and go make a new one. Very nice from Amazon because you have 30-minute divergence, you had 2 hour divergence, and you have daily divergence all across this. So very, very nice look. Nvidia is starting to show some wonky 30-minute divergences. Now, I don't know if I want to really read into this as much as possible. I really don't. I think that Nvidia is just a beast that just keeps going up and holding on to those divergences for dear life. So I think people are going to be very, very taken off guard when Nvidia starts to tumble, and I do think Nvidia will tumble. Even though you are making that kind of multiple point, or maybe you violated one divergence, but you are holding all of them on the RSI. As of right now, no good confirmation just yet, but this does hint that Nvidia is very likely over the next couple of days going to make a top. Even if we want to go up a few more points or something like that, the only way it can raise the floor here for Nvidia is, in my mind, it needs to squeeze to 180. AMD, very, very nice, able to raise that floor. Now, you are starting to form some little bits in here, but AMD just really squeezing, able to raise that floor, right? The 2-hour divergence here never was able to confirm. So very, very nice. Never confirmed, so no trade there. I look for confirmations and I wait for my reasons to actually be there on the chart. So for AMD, we would be looking for what at this point? Most likely it would be continuation. You would look for like a 4-hour or like a daily chart to confirm down, but it really looks like you have a long pathway of buyers beneath you. So if you do end up getting a 2-hour pullback, that looks like it can curl up into positive territory. And maybe AMD is more leaning towards a top into next week. If AMD just wants to drop and go down to lower levels, we would like it to see something pretty bad and able to make a lower high. So for AMD, still looking for a lower high or a new divergence. Nice little squeeze though for AMD with the 30-minute divergence that curled up the 2-hour chart. One that did not do something crazy was Meta. Meta was not able to curl up. Instead, it rolled the move. The 2-hour was able to give you a lower high close to the center line. So that said, hey, I might tumble here. And it's starting to tumble. Let's look at that daily chart because that daily chart's starting to give you good confirmation after good confirmation. Not a good look for Meta at this point. Now, it is oversold at this point. You're very likely to get a bounce to at least test the 5. And you don't really have divergences or anything like that. But this is very nice to see. The 2-hour was able to cross down, and then the 30-minute crosses up, right? So you see how the 30-minute is overall negative, crosses up, and then rolls back down into negative territory right here on your MACD. That's exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for that head and shoulders look. You break the low, you curl up to the 5 to create that right shoulder, you roll the move, you get confirmation, and look at the downside that came. So if you were paying attention to this, this was very, very nice to execute on for a little trade, and congratulations if you did. And a similar thing could be happening with Microsoft. You would like to see more critical levels broken, in my opinion. I mean, honestly, if you're really looking at this, you should probably be on the 2-hour chart. You should be paying attention to all the divergences here. Microsoft is pretty much yelling at you, saying like, "Hey, if you're still holding a long option right here for an extended period of time, right? If you're someone who trades like I do, say like 2-week to 2-month plays, if I'm in a 2-month play for Microsoft and I'm holding it for the last say month or so, and then I see this." I'd be going, all right, this is starting to get really, really risky because the daily is just going up and up and up. Now, you do have significant, significant divergence on the 2-hour chart and the MACD and RSI at the same time. So this just tells you like, hey, we don't necessarily, we've gotten good confirmations and management of the trade. But if tomorrow you're able to roll the 30-minute down here and reject, make new lows, and really get below the 5, that would be pretty critical. And if the 2-hour is actually able to close below the 5 for a bit, you can actually tumble all the way down to 488. We could see that level slightly broken and then come up for that right shoulder. And then we might be curling down into the end of the month. So you have a lot of crazy things going on out there in the market. And Microsoft, to me, looks very, very risky at this point. Google able to keep squeezing. That is fantastic. We were never able to confirm any kind of divergence here, so that's very nice. Just continue the move. So now Google is kind of like, and actually crazy enough, it ended up getting to our 185. That is crazy. I really didn't think it would get there. I thought we were going to be wrong. It got up to like 183, and I was like, man, I don't know if it's going to get there. We saw this wick. I was like, oh man, I don't know if it's fully going to get, and then it gets there. So that's fantastic. Now the 2-hour chart here, you don't necessarily have divergence on the RSI. You don't necessarily have that divergence on the MACD either. Very, very flat on the MACD. So you can tumble from here. This can be a risky point. I mean, Microsoft has that kind of look, so why can't Google fall down? Let's just see if the 30-minute was suggesting to you that it could roll over here, and you start to see little flatness up here towards the high. Very complex look to it, and we're just looking if that distribution is going to come into the downside. Now, if the 30-minute is able to curl up into positive territory, it is very likely to go test the high, go make a new one. But for the 2-hour chart, we need to see if that thing is going to rotate down. Now, even if the 2-hour rotates down, I think there is risk of coming down to break these levels, but I would watch that the whole time, especially if I like short this and it starts coming down, and see if that's able to curl back up into positive territory, because we very likely could make something like this going into earnings, and you might want to watch out for 2-hour divergence. But overall, going into earnings and things like that, it's kind of like this for Google. If Google goes like this before earnings and I'm already in calls, then I just say, thank you for my money. This is my monopoly get out of jail free card, and I'm not going to play those earnings with that extreme implied volatility. Very nice for Google to get to 185. I would be watching for the most likely scenario being a 2-hour pullback as of right now, but I don't think you can sleep on the fact that it could get aggressive, so wait for confirmation to the upside. AMC, very nice to come back down to this level, like the perfect place to get to, and now you just want to see that 2-hour get going. As far as the 30-minute stands, you are still negative, and I think you are very likely to go make a 30-minute divergence. As far as it stands, I think you are very likely to potentially even go make that divergence. If the 30 minutes is able to cross, you would look for a divergence. If it wipes out those points, you might even go a little bit lower. If that 30-minute divergence doesn't come and you start to, like, say, squeeze here, you would look for that 2-hour to confirm into positive territory, which the MACD is positive right now. The RSI is above the center line for right now. So if the 2 hour is able to confirm here, that can be a sign that this thing is going to test the high, go make a new one. Watch out for divergence. AMC and GME like to make those divergences, so you'd watch out for those. If the 2 hour curls up, good. If the 30-minute turns down, bad, but look out for divergence. GME, as we come over to this one, I just think that this is like really, really wonky at this point. I don't really think that this is like the best look. Overall, though, you went up and you took back the 5. You're coming down to retest the 5. And now we have to see if we can get that next move higher. The truth here is you need to start to see some good daily confirmations. I think you have a couple, but I would like us to take back this high. As the daily is very negative, you always want to watch for, hey, does this come up to these levels and reject? So we will be watching out for 2 hour divergence. I do not think that GME has a very good look right now, but I will say that at least it is trying to make somewhat of a higher low on the 2 hour chart. Now you stuck around and we were talking about volatility on Patreon, and I wanted to talk about it with you guys now. If you want that information earlier, the Patreon is down in the description. You can look at a lot of the things that we were looking at. And one of the scenarios we were paying attention to was scenario number 1, that the 2 hour curls down and the 2 hour is able to confirm back up. And I kind of suggested that it could be a little bit deeper. I don't know if that's necessarily the look, because scenario 2 was overall suggesting we could make a move like this one to really set some kind of trap, maybe going into next week, or set some kind of trap going into Friday. I am really heavily leaning towards scenario 2. I will be open to scenario 3, and obviously, if this 2 hour is able to whip back up, that can be a bad thing. So for now, it really looks like to me we need to reset these VIX signals, and I think volatility will go down to these levels, but I will react to any kind of signal that confirms and gives me my reasons for a trade. Just because I think that this is going to happen, do you think that if volatility curls up and gives me a strong bar on the 2 hour, I'm not going to load up? No, I'm going to load up, but I really wanted to show you the wick, because the wick is very important. This is your VIXpiration kind of thing. This is the rebalancing of those options. They really make you think, oh, the market is going to crash. No, it's not. So now we are looking for an opposite thing. We are looking for people to get euphoric right after VIXpiration. We are looking for people to get euphoric right after VIXpiration, because the last 2 months they have sold off after VIXpiration, and then people were wrong about Black Monday. So what if this time we actually go to the upside in the SPY and down in volatility, and we set up a signal that says, hey, this is going to look ugly going into next week or later on next week, and then people are all saying nothing about Black Monday, nothing about a Black Tuesday, and they're not aware of the risk. We will be aware of the risk, and we will notify you about it. The daily confirmation is still there. If we do not cut out this low in any way and we just come down to lower levels and we curl up into positive territory, I think this market will be topping out and you will finally get your daily pullback. And guess what? I think that's going to be pretty vigorous, because we have not seen the daily pullback in a quicker amount of time. So the main takeaway for today is, overall, don't get too excited when you get a confirmation if VIXpiration is literally the next day. And you really have to be watching for how they are going to manipulate things and really reprice those options during the week, when all you have to do is watch for, hey, does the 2 hour confirm back up? Because if it does, we are going to make new highs. So it looks like if the 2 hour confirms up, we're going to go set up another point of divergence, or even extend that floor for a little bit of time. And if the 30-minute is able to roll, well, there are 2 things we are watching for here. If the 30-minute rolls and makes some kind of 30-minute divergence to tell you that the 2 hour is curling up, I would have some faith in it. But if you curl down and you're not able to make that divergence, but instead you see some extreme volatility, we can keep breaking to the downside and start that nice little Harry Potter there. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing. I hope you guys have a fantastic night, and I hope you guys have all the luck in the world trading tomorrow. Peace out.